Hey dear friends, and welcome here to Six Wheels Down. Today we have an exciting video here because I'm gonna show you something that I bet you have never seen. We are going out to the Boneyard for aircrafts here in Roswell. This is basically the place where all old aircrafts, they end their lives. They get flown in here to this big Air Force base that it has been now. It's a civilian airport, but then there are 4 or 5 different companies here that have specialized in scrapping aircrafts. So what they do is they take seats out, they take the engines out, they harvest all the parts that can be sold. So some of them has very valuable metals in them, like for instance the engines, where there can be titanium in the turbofans, and all this gets harvested and resold, and then a big machine comes and crushes the rest of the plane. It's taken into bits and pieces, and the aluminum gets sold and turned into soda cans. So it's all getting reused. But when I came home today, after I had been out there driving all the way around the airport, I found out something horrible. I had all the video footage home with me, but there was no soundtrack. On the back of my helmet I have a battery pack for a little audio converter that converts the sound from the microphone from analog signal to digital signal. And this battery pack has a tiny little button I didn't know about, and it had been switched off. So no power to the sound converter, and that means no sound on the soundtracks. So that's when you start to panic, and I did. So what do you do when you have no soundtrack for your entire video? I think there's only one thing to do. I need to blame it on somebody. And in this case, it has to be Elvis Presley. It simply has to. So stay tuned and see why.
Talk about a stress-free job.
I tell you what, it's a lot of stress release.
Manuel Fernandez destroys airliners for a living. At least one a week.
You don't get no better than this.
This Airbus A300 used to belong to American Airlines. It cost about $80 million back in 1989. Now, though, worth about $50,000 in scrap aluminum, and could even become your next can of soda.
They will be, or something else, or a six-pack of a Chinese beer.
This is not a boneyard. Think of the airport here in Roswell, New Mexico as a used car lot, but for airliners.
Like, what would an MD-80 go for today? If I were to want one of these MD-80s ready to go.
I sell you this one right here, this afternoon, for 50 grand without motors.
American Airlines stores all of its spare planes here with Stewart Industries. Across the airfield are logos from around the world. Southwest, Air Canada, even Japan Airlines. Many planes are sold to startup airlines. Others, though, get stripped down. Seats, avionics, nose cones, even black boxes.
There may be no place in America with stranger aviation stories than this. Crunch, rip, smash. Welcome to Roswell, New Mexico, where aircraft come to die. Anyone frustrated by the current state of air travel might want to try their hand at this. Tearing apart an entire airplane. This hydraulic excavator has been outfitted with a special giant claw that can demolish a once mighty MD-80 jet in minutes. This might just be one of the most satisfying jobs in aviation, but it takes a lot of skill. You try plucking out the plane's bathroom as neatly as this. When this aircraft is completely demolished, workers will salvage spare parts for resale. Next up, this 747. But aircraft demolition isn't the only strange sight here at the Roswell Airport. Across the tarmac is a red Lockheed Jetstar that once belonged to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley himself. It was first sold by Elvis's dad, and then sold again to a man from Poland, but still gathers dust here in Roswell.
See, this is where Elvis Presley ruins this video completely for me. Because how can he claim to be the king of rock and roll and then fly around in a crappy plane like this little tiny red one? And not enough with that. Try to look here at the interior of it. Elvis was the one who designed that plane on the inside. Look at that. How can you be king of rock and roll and then make a plane where it's inside a purple red velvet interior? That doesn't make sense. Look at this here. This is how real stars they fly, like Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Iron Maiden. I can go on. This is how you fly if you're the king of rock and roll. But it doesn't end here. You know, this king of rock and roll, he has left us with a heritage that is horrible, that we now have to live with. Not only was his music not what I like, but now we also have to live with all these Elvis impersonators. Try just to take a look at them. How can you be king of rock and roll and then have followers like this? This doesn't make sense. I'm 100% sure I can do better. See, what you do is you go out, you find a good best friend like Rodney Jensen, somebody who knows how to make karaoke, and then you start practice. And at the end of the day, if you're lucky, I'm sure you can do just as good as me.
Daddy worked like a mule mining Pike County gold. He fucked up his back, he couldn't work anymore. He said one of these days you'll get out of these years. On the grindstone and out of the pills. See, the way of this world just bring you to tears. Keep the Lord in your heart, you'll have nothing to fear. Live the best that you can, and don't lie and don't steal. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Daddy Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world I can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, they bring me to cheer. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pit. I've been trying, I just can't catch a break.
We've gotten to the end of this video out from the Boneyard for aircrafts in Roswell, New Mexico. I'm sorry that I didn't capture the soundtrack from the motorcycle ride out there, but I hope you were a little amused by the alternative way of putting some sound into this video. I will say though that Elvis is okay. It's all a joke. I just don't listen to Elvis, so now you can take that as you want. But when that is said, if you like the video, then please hit the like button and also the subscribe button down here, so that you can get notified about upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.